And ain't no way I'm about to sit here and be struggling with a man on my hip. If I'm gonna be struggling, I'm gonna be struggling by myself. You ain't gonna be by my side and I'm struggling and you watching me struggle? You mean to tell me I'm about to be busting my butt on this time clock, making sure all these bills paid, and you don't help with nothing? What? The D don't pay no bills. Where they do that at? I ain't struggling with a man on my hip. I'd rather be single and struggling than be struggling with a man. A man at that. You're supposed to be making my life easier. You making it harder. And you think you're going to stress me out with your nonsense, with your foolishness? And you don't know how to play no date either? You want to ask me what you're doing every 2 seconds? Baby, I need bills paid. Pay a bill or two. You want to talk? You want to get my attention? Baby, I need gas in my car. I need food on the table. I need my rent paid, water bill paid, phone bill, light bill, car note, car insurance, pick a bill. If I'm going to be doing it all by myself, I'm going to be talking to myself. I'm not about to be struggling with no man on my hip. Is you crazy? Is you cool?
I feel like until you date a provider, you really don't know what that soft era for a woman really looks like. Let me break it down to you. A man that's a provider, they're not even going to ask you what you want to do when it comes to a date. They're going to tell you what you're doing. Because, see, the thing is, men that are providers, they've already done their research on you before they get you to know what type of woman that you are. Because they're prepared. They come prepared. They've already read the coursework. They've already studied the material so that they know what they need to bring to the table rather than asking you what you bring to the table. They're there to simply match and add, not subtract, not ask questions, okay? They're coming with solutions. That's what providers do. And it's so easy to be able to tell when a man is a provider and when he's not, just by the way that he acts, how he treats you, how he speaks, how he carries himself. Men that are providers are so gentle with you, like they would never do certain things or even say certain things because they already know that, like, okay, no, I can't treat her like this. I can't do her like that. Because it would almost be like offensive to their character and their morals. You know what I'm saying? Like, think of a very active and present dad of a daughter, like a girl dad. That is like what a provider is for a grown woman. They handle you with care. They prioritize you. They customize things so it's specifically for you. They're not giving you the same treatment that they gave somebody else. They include you in everything because they never want you to feel left out. They communicate with you constantly so that you never have to wonder. And they just study you overall. Like, they know your icks, they know your pet peeves, and they just pay attention. So if that man ain't doing none of that, 9 times out of 10, he's not a provider and he's not the man for you. Don't be stupid. Love y'all.
This is why I do not allow men to touch me. And this is why you single ladies should not allow men to touch you either in 2026. It's very easy for me to maintain sexual purity and abstinence because I'm very aware that just because a man sleep with you or have sex with you doesn't mean that he like you or even love you. Nor am I interested in entering into a false covenant of fornication and idolatry with a man that I'm not in covenant with. People have persecuted me because I talk about sexual purity and abstinence all the time on my page. And that is because I'm trying to teach you single ladies that you are not supposed to be spending your single season in and out of sexual soul ties. I am not interested in meeting a man today. We start talking, we have chemistry, we have connection, and next thing you know, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, we're in the bed. Because a lot of you single ladies, you all are sleeping with men so fast, you don't even know who this man is. You don't even know his character. But 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, 1 week in, you're already in the bed, and now you're so tired and it's hard for you to break away now that the mask has fallen off and now that you know who he truly is. I do not want to spend my single season in and out of soul tie. I meet this guy, have sex, it don't work out. Meet this guy, have sex, it don't work out. Meet this guy, have sex, it don't work out. Then I got to break a soul tie. Spending my single season breaking soul ties instead of getting closer to the Lord, instead of writing books like the one that I just released yesterday. Breaking ungodly soul ties. In 2026, I'm going to teach you single ladies how to break ungodly soul ties, because it's time for you to get your money right, your mind right, and your master, right? Meaning the master, the Lord Jesus Christ, your relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. 2026, it's time for you ladies to stop grieving over these relationships with men who did not want you. It's time for you all to stop being sad and depressed because these relationships didn't work out, relationships that God never ordained for your life in the first place. No. If you're not grieving over hurting God, and if you're not grieving over sinning against God the way that you have been grieving over these men, no, you need to snap out of that. It's time to wake up, ladies. And it's time to get in order with God and get in order in your life. It's time for you to focus on your healing. It's time for you to focus on healing from your trauma. It's time for you to heal the little girl in you. And I'm going to help you all do that by reading my new book, Breaking Ungodly Soul Ties. It is now on Amazon. You can click the link in my bio, and you can go ahead and grab a copy so you can get free in 2026. It's time to get free altogether. And my book is going to help you do it. This book is powerful. It was just released.
Do not marry someone that cannot give you the lifestyle that realistically you want. Especially if you want to have children, really think about the kind of life you want to give your children. If you marry a guy that cannot keep a job or really can't afford for you to ever stay home, why would you have children with that man? Because you might be thinking, oh, but I can earn money too. I am an attorney. I understand your thought process. Once you have children or get pregnant, you will realize pregnancy is so unpredictable. Birth is so unpredictable. Postpartum is so unpredictable. You can have very complicated medical issues that occur during those times. You want to be with someone that can provide during that time. And also, how insane that a man cannot keep a job and provide a decent lifestyle, but you're birthing his children. That is very difficult. And a lot of women are like, but I already love him. And they get in their emotions. And then you might be thinking, oh, but that's not romantic. If all you rely on is romance and emotion for the decision of who you marry, you are being extremely foolish. I do divorce and custody as an attorney, and I can tell you that's a quick way to ruin your life. Just base everything off of romance and feeling. Use logic. Use wisdom. Be honest about the kind of life you think your future children deserve and the lifestyle that you actually want. I'm not saying only marry for lifestyle, also marry for values, someone that you enjoy, but you have to consider lifestyle.
If a man does not spend money on me, there is no point. I do not continue the relationship. There is absolutely no purpose that man serves in my life. And the standard is so easy to uphold because either men act right and start spending money on you and take you seriously, or you literally just go get another man. There are so many men. I don't think men understand, the options are freaking endless. If you don't act right, Jim, Tim, and Billy Bob Joe will.
Men are always supposed to provide for their woman, all right? I know we live in a time and a generation where people don't understand that. And I understand how the economy is. But when I say provide, I'm not just talking about being a bank account for a woman, all right? This is where a lot of guys get shit fucked up. When I say you're supposed to provide for a woman, I mean you're supposed to provide security and love and nurturing them, right? And security and love is not just throwing dollars at a woman. It's about making a woman feel wanted, making a woman feel loved, making a woman feel secure. You don't have to pay all the girls' bills to provide for them. You at least just have to pay your portion. Have a stable job, have a stable income, have goals, try to keep becoming better, right? Be there for your woman, spend time with her, show her love when she's feeling down, help her out. That's what I mean provide for a woman, right? It's nurturing them. It's providing love, providing security, providing encouragement, providing, protection. These are things that are important that as a man we're supposed to do. I like the responsibility of that. I don't feel burdened with the responsibility of somebody depending on me for those. Yes, depend on me. I'm daddy. That's right. Depend on me. I will make you feel happy. I will make you feel beautiful. But if you cannot feel that about yourself, I can only do so much. And at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do about that. All right? Because at the end of the day, a woman also has to provide for a man, the same thing. Right? So at the end of the day, I am an adult. I am somebody who loves being a man. I love being who I am. I don't mind. I'm a leader. I don't mind the burden, quote unquote, or the responsibility of being that, right? Because I like it. I like being in control of myself, and I love being in control of the fact that, you know what? I know a lot of people can't deal with responsibility or leadership. It stresses them out, but for some reason, me, it doesn't bother me. It just, I've always was the person too that like I was always playing my role. I never was trying to control people, but I started to realize that a lot of people that are in leadership roles, they don't know how to be leaders. They just want to control people because they can't even deal with stress. And then they realize that once they get into a leadership role, it's even more stress. And I was always the person that didn't really care about emotional stress or stress like that. Like, I like it. Like, I embrace it. Like, it's something that's not hard for me. So that's why when a woman is dependent on me to make her feel happy, make her feel beautiful, to feel secure with her, you know, it's words of encouragement. I am daddy. Of course, you should depend on me. Of course, I'm the source of your happiness. Don't worry about it. I got you. You know what I mean? And that's the end of the day. That's how it's supposed to be. And obviously, as a man, the basic shit is, man, you gotta have you gotta have a stable income. I understand in today's economy. Let's make it really clear, ladies. Men are not paying all your bills in this economy. Like, unless he's fortunate enough to make a substantial amount of money. Of course, if I was making $1 million a year or $500,000 a year, I'll pay all my girls' bills. But at the end of the day, she's going to be doing other things, though. She's not going to just be sitting at home, princess treatment. No, you're not. You're going to be doing things. You're going to be cleaning the house every single day. You're going to be cooking every single day. You're going to be doing laundry every single day. You're going to be helping and assisting me with my businesses. Actually, motherfucker, you about to do a business. I'm going to pay for the business. I'm going to start the business. And you're going to come up with ideas and you're going to have your business. And you're going to then provide some type of income. Either I'm going to pay all the bills and you're going to just buy shit. You're going to buy food. You're going to buy cars. You're going to buy clothes. And I pay all the, you know, the mortgage, the electricity, the water, all that. That's what I would do if I had, like, you know, a substantial amount of money where I could afford that. I don't mind that. I like the free. I like that. I like being the one that I'll do it. I like that. I'll pay for the vacations. Of course, I would love to do that. You know, every guy would dream of doing that, of course. But in today's economy, it's very difficult. In today's time, it's, you know, the wage gap is it's getting bigger and bigger. It's very difficult to make that amount of money with the cost of living, you know. And so at the end of the day, you know, I think the best thing a man could do is just pay his portion. Obviously today it's more about 50-50, 60-40, whatever you want to call it. And I think as a man, you can't just think that like you're doing the bare minimum though. Like you're working part-time 2 days, 3 days a week, and then just like playing PlayStation every day. Playing PlayStation is not the problem. It's your priorities. You should be trying to make as much money as possible, making sure you're working full time or the most hours you can get at, you know, wherever you are. Or because I understand finding jobs is very difficult in this economy today too, especially here in America. And just trying to always be better. You know, if you have a dream, like you see what I do, man, I chase my dreams. I put myself out there because I got a family. I want to be better. I want to be bigger. You know what I mean? I want to be able to control my own destiny, you know? And God forbid, you know, you guys do get married or something like that to a woman. Of course, you make her sign a prenup because, you know, at the end of the day, you got to protect yourself too. You know, at the end of the day, you know, women can wake up and feel differently every day. I understand them. I understand women. Sometimes you just don't feel it no more. That's fine, but you're not taking half of my shit. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Like, that's all it really comes down to. So, you know, of course, we all would love that. So, basically, as a man, it is your role to provide for a woman. If you take a girl out on a date, bro, you pay for the fucking date, dude. Be a fucking gentleman, dog. All right? It's what are you paying? $50, $100? The same $100 you probably paid for a fucking, you paid that like 6-7 times on my career. You bought like 7-8 builds on 2K, all $100 a build, and you can't pay $100 one time for a girl on a date because you expect to get some pussy at the end of the night? Come on, bro. If you want to get some fucking pussy at the end of the night, stop thinking about it. Let shit happen naturally. Maybe you might not get pussy today, but you'll get it 3-4 days by now, and then you can get it every day. All right? Just be a fucking gentleman, bro. You know? Pay the fucking date, pay the bill. When you go out on a date, you know, offer to take a girl on a date, open the fucking door, dude. It's not that hard, kid. You know what I mean? You're giving, that's not it. That's not it. You don't go on a date and then ask the girl to pay for you, bro. Like, that's weird shit. I understand if a girl asked you, it's like, yo, I want to take you out and pay for you. I'd be like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? If a woman wants to do that, that's her prerogative. Okay. I'm not going to get mad at her for doing that. But if I offer to take a girl out, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're going to pay your portion. That's weird. That's weird. That's not it. That's little dick energy. You know what I mean? You want to be big dick. You know what I mean? I'm big dick Nino. You want to be big dick energy. So at the end of the day, you should be like, if you ask a girl to take her out on a date, man, you pay for the date. You open the door. And at the end of the night, if she says she wants to go home, take her home. Who cares? If she never talks to you again, she never talks to you again. That's fine. We ain't broke, boys. $150, $60, $80, there's nothing. We ain't broke, boys. We make money. We work. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it ain't nothing. Because there's going to be a girl you come by that she's going to fucking be in love with your ass. Baddie, too, you know? Or at least a 7 with a great personality and loyal. You know what I mean? You know, that's the wave, obviously, you know. A lot of niggas want that today. The 7 or the 8 with a great personality. You know what I mean? So definitely lock in on that. So I really hope this helped a lot of y'all out and really open your eyes to what's important. And that's, you know, being a man. You know, I think that's important today. And understand that there's a fine line between, you know, obviously misogyny and chivalry, right? Chivalry is a beautiful thing, and misogyny is more like transactional, like, oh, I paid for you, so now you got to give me some pussy. That's not how it works. The guys who get pussy, we don't think like that. Like, what are you doing, bro? Go beat your meat if you're that fucking horny, buddy. All right? So I really hope this helps y'all out.
This woman who knows that I give relationship advice, she asked me, if my man lost his job, and he is still without work, for 6+ months or whatever, would I leave him? I said yes. I said, because one thing I know is McDonald's is always hiring. She said, well, no, if he's, you know, searching for another job in his career field, it's just taking a little bit long, or his career field isn't hiring right now, but he is actively searching. Would you leave him? I said, he been searching for a job for 6 months? I said, yeah. I said, because let's be real. Although McDonald's may not be the ideal job, and it may not be able to pay all my bills, it can still pay the lights, water, and gas, which is still 3 bills that needs to be paid. There is no way in hell that any man of mine will sit on his ass and watch me pay the bills in our household for 6 months straight. There is some kind of money you can't be making. If you truly wanted to help the woman, there is something you could be doing. Come to find out, she was asking me that because that was her scenario. So she was asking me what would I do if I was in her shoes. I said, I wouldn't even entertain a man who's even comfortable with watching me pay the bills for 6 months. I said, so seeing as that this is your situation, that's a question you got to ask yourself. Because like I said, you know, whatever career field that he's used to being in provided income. And so can a lot of other jobs. It may not provide as much income, but the household is still ran off income. And you need to get your ass out there and go find some, or don't come back to my household. And that's just how I feel. Like I said, I'm only dating men with a 100% mindset. That's it. So, would I leave a man after 6 months without working? Honey, I'm gone. I'm out of there.
The reason men don't respect us as women anymore, because us as women, it's always how much you make, what you got, what you can get me. You gonna pay for this, you gonna pay for that. It's real. Men don't respect that, because in a man's, a man is supposed to provide, don't get me wrong. He's supposed to provide for the one that he's with, the one that he loves. Just because he just met you, don't mean he gotta go out there and buy you something, buy you a bag, or get your nails and toes done. If a man genuinely wants to do that, it's out of kindness of his heart. It's not mandatory that he has to do that, ladies. You gotta remember that. It's not, a man don't have to get you anything when y'all first met. Dating ain't even the same no more.
Why should a man provide for a woman and not expect her to serve him? And look, I'm even going to wear my glasses, so if you disagree, you can make fun of how I look. This video can't cover every reason, but bear with me. Reason number one is if a man truly loves a woman, he doesn't want her to pay for anything. This has been my personal experience and many women's experiences, okay? We have learned that when a man is truly interested in you specifically, he doesn't want you to pay for anything. If you like her and another woman, or you're just not too interested in her, but she's the best that's around right now, why should she settle for that? And if you're gonna say, well, for me, that's not true. I really am interested in her. I just don't want to pay for everything. Well, women know that generous men are out there, so why should she lower her standards specifically for you? Then next you say, but I cannot afford it, and that's why I say, fair, the economy is terrible right now. But we also know that if you wanted to, you would find a way. My high school boyfriend, he worked part-time jobs and stuff to save up so that he could take me on dates and buy me gifts. I didn't ask him to, I didn't tell him to. I never even conceptualized him doing that. He just did. Women know that when a man really, really loves a woman, it's going to light a fire under his butt to like be a better man, to do more things. And if that isn't happening for you, then she's probably not the best match for you either. Your next thing is, well, she isn't worth the money or the time. Then why are you in her DMs? Why are you bothering this young lady? Let her go. Women do not exist as vending machines for you to put out things that you like. And you're going to say to that, well, men aren't vending machines, but more specifically, women view us all as ATMs. Then you shouldn't date her. You should not date her if you feel like you're being taken advantage of. Some women take advantage of people. Some men take advantage of people. That's just always going to be the truth. If you're going to say all women view men as ATMs because they want to be provided for financially, then it's also fair to say that all men view women as sex dolls because you want to be attracted to your partner. A lot of men all the time, right? What do you hear? The most important thing is a physical relationship, right? They put it on their dating profiles. They make it abundantly clear before it's appropriate to bring up physical intimacy. Men will say that. So is it fair? Do all men view women as sex dolls? Understand that at the end of the day, women are allowed to have standards that you don't like and you don't agree with. Women do not exist to be palatable to men. If you do not like them, leave them alone. You don't have to be misogynistic. You could just leave them alone.
If a man gets into a relationship with a woman, he should provide her every need. Now, if I'm grinding, I don't need a woman. I should be focused on taking care of myself. And when I get to that level, now I can bring you into my world. Because you can't respect me if you're taking care of me. You can't respect me if you're going half on my bills. And this is what happened. A lot of men don't date to bring a woman into the world to uplift them. They're dating for financial assistance. And this is why men want to go 50-50, because they need a woman to help them take care of them.
Let me ask you this. So how do you know a woman doesn't want you just for your money or for your...
I want a woman to want me for my money. I'm a provider. Want me to provide. So what you, why you choosing me? You want an alpha man? I'm gonna show you my alpha man. I'm here to take care of your every needs. And that's not just financially. That's mentally, that's emotionally, that's spiritually. Because I'm here to lead in every aspect of my life because I know what you're gonna bring to me. When I put you in an environment of peace, when I put you in an environment when you feel secure, you're gonna elevate. And when a woman elevates, good women are going to elevate the men right next to them. So you become my diamond in the rough.
How do you know who's a good woman and who's not, though?
I don't worry about that. I'm a good man. I don't care if you're tarnished. I'm going to perfect you. If I'm a good man, this is what's going to happen.
I love this. She's like, I'm here for it.
I need this recorded.
I mean, it is recorded.
And my morning mantras. I need to cut someone.
We need to play these as morning affirmations from today on, right?
Every man should strive to get to that position where you can take care of your wife or your girl. As much as men, cry about it, about having to take care of a girl or take care of them financially, every man wants that. Like, every man wants to do that. It's just the guys that can't do it are usually the ones that complain about 50-50 and all these things. But I think every man should strive to get to that position where you can take care of your wife or your girl. Obviously it takes time to trust each other, like where I trust you to where you're not just going to use me for my finances, and you trust me to know that I'm not going to hold finances over you if I need something from you or if I need you to do something for me. That takes time, but it's not like you're just sitting at home doing nothing. Like, you're working on things. You're working on the thing that we've invested ourselves into. I think every man should strive for that, I think every man does for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do for you.
The strongest women are usually the ones struggling financially in silence. Yep, I said it. The women who never ask for help, the women who always figure it out, the woman that everybody depends on but she can't depend on anyone, those are usually the women struggling the most behind closed doors because they don't want to burden anyone. They don't want anybody feeling sorry for them, so they keep carrying it. But girl, carrying everything by yourself isn't strength. That's survival mode. Real strength is getting support. Real strength is asking questions. And real strength is learning new skills. And real strength is deciding that your future deserves better than your past. Bag a woman who needs this reminder today.
To what point does this Shira 7 boss girl mentality, man eater type of thing just become begging? Because I feel like we're at a tipping point here where it is becoming extremely obvious that a lot of girls in the dating pool, you guys just don't got your bag up. Like, expecting a man to fund everything in your life in order to have a shot with you, and you're asking a man for money for, like, everything. Maybe you just don't got it for yourself. Like, it's like a different thing if he offers, like, wow. So, you know, I'm sure anyone would appreciate it. But to have it as a set condition, like, I don't understand. Is this like rent a girlfriend? Like, he gotta buy you? Your wallet just must be full of flies. Like, I'm not saying we should be ashamed to be broke, but like, let's call it as it is. It seems like begging. You know, call me crazy, but I just don't think money should be at the center of a romantic relationship. Obviously, this is like a different story if it's like, oh, you know, like if I ask and he doesn't for like something like small emergency or I don't know. Obviously there's context. Obviously there's problems if he does blah blah blah. But this new generation of thinking where like a man gotta do this financially for me to have a shot, is it really like girl power, or is it like you're low-key just a beggar?
I just took out a loan for basic needs and food. Like, needs/food. I have never in my life had to take out a loan for the things that my home needs. I had to make the decision of gas or food, or somehow budget it and split that and get a little bit of gas and get a little bit of food until I get paid again. I said, there's no way. I cannot do this. I need to have a little bit more for gas and I need to have enough food. So Affirm has, you know, its thing with Sam's Club. I was like, fuck it. Let's just take out a loan for our basic needs. I feel like this is not okay. This is not okay. We're fucked.
This man said, why every time I meet a woman, she's behind on her bills or she needs help with a bill? If that's something that you're questioning and it's bothering you, upsetting you, that you have to bring it to the internet, you don't need to be meeting women right now. You need to be focusing on yourself and getting your life together so that doesn't bother you. Ew.
It sounds like you and the rest of those type of women are the ones that need to be working on themselves. He's speaking facts. Don't nobody owe you nothing. No rent, no lights, no Wi-Fi. If you grown enough to date, you grown enough to handle your own responsibilities. And stop calling it help when it's really dependence. Handle your business first before you go looking for somebody to fund it.
Okay, this one is for the fellas. I want you guys, without insulting me, to prove to me what the benefit of marrying you guys is if you're not a provider.
Videos like this make me really depressed for the women who are genuinely asking this question and in the comment section, because it goes to show how many women have truthfully never liked nor loved somebody. When you have to ask yourself the question of like, bro, what's the point of being with a woman if she doesn't even cook for you? What's the point of being with a man if he's not paying for your stuff? You don't like that person. The same way logically we would understand if a friend told you like straight up, hey, I only like to spend time with you when you pay for my stuff. Like you'd be like, oh, this friend doesn't like me. Like they just like the things that I do to make their life easier. I don't understand how women don't see the same logic. Like so many people are like, as a divorcee, I'm waiting to hear this answer because babe, the wrong man is such a chore. Yes, I actually do agree with this one. The wrong man. What I notice a lot of the men who say all women are this, or all the women that say all men are this, you guys pick the most obvious shitty partners. And then you blame the whole entire gender and demographic of women or men. when in reality, it is your lack and ability of picking normal, good character traits. If you genuinely can't find a single positive characteristic about the dating partner besides the fact that they're paying for your stuff, then go find a new partner. You don't like him. You're not with a good person. Moral of the story here is, as much as you guys might think this is like a diss at the men, it's really sad to just like blatantly admit like you've never been or felt the feeling of love. And that's really sad, but that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
The man them not going to hear this, but I have to just talk the truth. Gentlemen, there is absolutely no way you're not doing nothing for a female. You're not in a relationship. You're not doing nothing for her. You're not help her pay her bills. You're not give her a little stashment a month time for go do her hair, her nails, her lash. You're not take her out on dates. You're doing nothing for this female, no gifts, no nothing. And you expect her to respect you in the relationship. Me can't respect a man who not be a man. And that's just the truth. Any man who come into my life, if he wants to be treated like a man, and if he requires me to respect him a certain type of way and be submissive to him have to play a man role in my life. So if you're not going to play a man role, as per what the Bible say, be the provider, I'll never respect you. And that's that.
I don't need a man to buy me flowers, but I won't date a man that doesn't. I don't need a man to pay my bills, but I won't date someone that doesn't bring something to the table. I don't need a man to open the doors for me, but I won't date a man who doesn't respect me enough to do it. I don't need a man to provide for me, but I am not going to date a man who has no drive, no ambition, and no plan. See, this is where people get it twisted. Independence doesn't mean I'll accept less. It means the opposite. Because I can do it all alone, my standards are higher. I know my worth. I know what partnership looks like. It's not about money. It's about effort, and it's about consistency. It's about showing up like a grown man who knows what he wants. I won't shrink to keep you comfortable, and I won't settle to keep the peace. I won't carry a relationship all by myself. So if you think she's too independent, she doesn't need me, you're right. I don't need you, but I want a man who wants to match me. I want a man who values what I bring. I want a man who sees me as his equal and still chooses to spoil me anyway. Because being capable doesn't mean I'm hard to love. It just means I won't waste my energy on someone who is not willing to rise to the occasion. Queens, remember this. Your independence is power. But standards, that's your crown. Don't ever take it off.
Normalize marrying a man who isn't financially stable.
No. Before y'all come for me, hear me out. I want to state that this is my opinion. Y'all can marry whoever you want, okay? I'm not getting married until I am financially stable. And if I am financially stable, I also want my partner to be financially stable. I'm not getting married to a man who's not financially stable, and I'm not getting married until I myself am financially stable, because I'm not going to be depending on nobody. We can work and grow together before getting married, not after. Marriages need more than just love to work out, as crude as that sounds.
How can you be laying down with a man that's providing absolutely nothing for you and watching you struggle? Next caller immediately.
Because whatever a man can't give you, he gonna take from you. And once he get what he need, he's gonna go on. That is something totally different than being with a man. He's take care of you. Just say we together. You know what I mean? You've always paid the bills. You always took care of me. Then maybe you get
have a rough time.
Or something happens, like you lose your job or something like that. You done took care of me for 10, 15 years. You think I'm just going to walk out on you?
That's balance. You saying they come into the door messed up.
Yes. A lot of men see women, especially high earning income women, and they see them as a way to get on. Like, I know she going to help me. I know I can do this. She going to give it to me. And
dating a man who can't help you financially is a waste of time. Let's be real. A lot of men have no intention of building anything meaningful with you. They just want the benefits of being with a good woman without any of the responsibilities. I'm not saying a man should pay all of a woman's bills the moment he meets her. But if he's not willing to step up and provide as the relationship grows, he's wasting your time. Real men want to provide. It makes them feel good knowing they are taking care of their woman so she doesn't have to carry the burden alone. Only a bum will make excuses and claim it's not his responsibility. Period.
I don't need a man to open doors for me, but I won't date one who doesn't. I don't need a man to buy me flowers, but I will not date one who doesn't. I don't need a man to provide for me, but I wouldn't date one who doesn't, and more importantly, doesn't want to. Because if somebody's doing these things because they think they should or in order to keep you, but they don't truly want to do these things, further down the line, they will resent you. They will feel some type of way of having to do things, or they'll throw it in your face, and they'll probably stop doing these things once they think they have you. Once they think they've secured you and you're in their life, the effort will slip because it wasn't really real. It wasn't really what they wanted to do. And there are men out there that will want to do these things. Not all of them do, and that's fine. But you don't have to date the ones that don't want to.
Me, I will not depend on a man financially. To depend on a man, no. But also, I will not date a man that is not going to give me money. It's not gonna happen. Drag me if you want. Call me gold diggers. Call me names and everything. I stand with what I said. I said what I said, and I mean it. And that's that. Thank you.
If you're laying down with that man, you should be able to turn over and ask for anything. Simple, just like that. And if he can't provide it to you, you should not be providing him your body. Simple, just like that. No ifs, ands, or buts. Do better.
I don't care if you're married to him. If he's not paying your mortgage, your light bills, your car insurance, your car note, stop having sex with him. Sex is for providers. Sex is for men that can take care of you if you get pregnant. These bums will push you out there to work even until your 8th month of pregnancy to help them because they're unable to provide your every need. Don't sleep with him. Kick him out the house, put him on a couch. I don't care what you have to do, but men that cannot provide for you, your every need from head to toe, does not deserve your body. Your body is a blessing handcrafted by God. These devils don't deserve you.
Or independent woman who can pay all our bills them by herself and maintain our beauty, hair, lashes, you see me, nails, and them some of them now go ever be interested in a man who can help her financially. It's not that she want him money or anything, but the same way also a man would have like to know you what a woman I bring to the table. A woman would have like to know you what some man I bring to the table. Because the same way you have woman out there where use man, you have man out there where use woman and suck them dry. You see me? And you have woman out there where build up man, and then when them get on them feet, they move on to the next. And I remember saying, oh, that woman that put me on the farm where me there, you see me? And that woman that send me a road, you see me? And them woman, they mostly get the style, you see it? The biggest style in them too.
It needs to be studied how easily it is to be fully uninterested in men when you're in your focus on yourself era as a woman. When I'm in one of my lock-in seasons and I'm truly trying to change my life, I feel like men get so annoying because you notice how few men are actually offering anything. They're not challenging your perspectives. They're not bringing up any new thoughts that you haven't already had. Many lack emotional intelligence. And a lot of times women become this nurturing, giving spirit when they're in a partnership or a relationship or a talking stage. And I feel like as a woman, when you're in that era where you need to give yourself all the love, you don't have patience for a lot of BS. And you become genuinely uninterested in spending a lot of time with men. That's not to say that one can't sneak in and literally change your mind. That's happened to me before. That's why they always say that it happens when you least expect it. But it does need to be studied because I feel like when you're in that era, even if you're trying to date, you might literally be like, dude, I need you to get out my space because I need to wake up at 6 a.m. and go to Pilates.
The sixth incident that happened was the Rosewood Massacre 1923 in Florida, triggered partly by a white woman claim of assault by a black man. The white mob destroyed the black town of Rosewood, unaliving several and displacing residents. Similar to the Tulsa, it involved exaggerated fear. You have the Willis case that happened in the 1940s to 1951 in Mississippi. Why does these things happen only in Mississippi? A lot of these things, a lot of these incidents are centered around Alabama and Mississippi. I mean, this is where most of these incidents were really concentrated, and you see Mississippi today is still suffering from most of these things. A black man was unalive for allegedly raping a white woman, and the evidence suggests suggested on a consensual relationship. I mean, these two were literally in a relationship, and because she came out and said that happened, this guy was literally unalive. Intentional protest failed. His case highlighted this racial bias in the American system we have today. You have the lynching of Jesse Washington in 1916, Texas. This happened in Texas in 1916. Accused of unaliving a white woman, a mob castrated, burned, and lynched him before thousands. White women and children were often spectators or participants in such public events. They really loved these things. They stood there, they watched it, and they were happy that these things were happening. You have the multiple lynchings documented by the Wells in 1890s. Journalist activist B. Well documented how accusations of rape or improper handling of white women, I mean, about 200 black men were lynched and unalive because of this incident. This is just they said over 200, but I believe it's more than that, but it's over 200. So black men have historically gone through so much difficult times in the hands of these white women, and most of them that's why most of them have decided not to take this, and that is why you see these white men coming out to talk about this. I don't know if they are just educating the black community on whether to not to pursue these women and think about the history and the tradition and what they've gone through, or it is out of jealousy. But then this information is out there for you to decipher for yourself. So thanks for watching the video, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. Also turn on the notification so that each time I release a new video, you'll be the first person to watch. See you in my next video.